This is what hoarding looks like.
So today's goal is to get the camper organized and get everything that we don't need out of here donated or thrown away, because we have been accumulating so much stuff since we moved in here. And I think that's one of the hardest parts about living in a camper is you have to learn to downsize and you have to learn to be okay with it. And I don't think that's something I've accepted yet. We've been doing this full time for almost 2 years and I just still have a really hard time with not purchasing stuff. So we're gonna go through and I'm gonna get rid of everything that we don't need anymore, and you guys are gonna see how crazy it's been. Here has been one of my biggest problems. I have so many sweaters and so many things that I don't even use. Like, they just sit in there and they don't get used. So we're gonna take care of that today. Also, this. I can't even close my drawers because they're so stuffed up with stuff. So that is going to be another area that we are going to take care of, because drawers should close. Drawers should not be stuffed to the brim. That into the kitchen. This is basically what my kitchen looks like. We have so many coffee mugs. I don't know why. There's only 2 of us. The alcohol cabinet is a bit of a disaster. I mean, just so unorganized. Nothing makes any sense. This is all of our seasonings. We are a seasoning household, so pots and pans are just out of control. And then this cabinet has been driving me absolutely, and all the stuff up there. So I'm basically in the process of renovating the camper. I'm painting, and it's been really hard to do this with all of the chaos. So I'm also selling this table and all the chairs. So I think once that's gone, we're gonna build a bench right here. And I think what I'm gonna use is that bench for storage for all of this crap up.
Almost like as far as throwing too much away, so that we actually have to like need something, because we've got like so much that we don't use. We've never like not need. I don't know. You know what I'm saying though? Yeah. Throw too much away.
So
we never throw enough away every time we do this.
Okay, so would you agree that we should get rid of like 50% of everything we have over this weekend?
I mean,
like, let's go full-blown minimalism. Like, yeah? Well, maybe
2 forks, 2 knives, 2 spoons.
When I started this, I really wanted to focus on the kitchen because this was going to be one of the hardest areas of my house to work on, and it proved itself to be the hardest. I started off with the cups because we just had way too many cups for just the 2 of us, and then I moved on to all the Tupperware and glass jars. I feel like the kitchen is easily the one place in my house that gets cluttered the fastest. I don't know why, but I tend to collect a lot of things and then end up not using them. I like these bowls, but they have chips in them, so I think it's time to say goodbye. And also, we have these ones right here. So he thinks those are too small.
To mix up sauces in?
Compared to this one. I get it, but like, use a bowl. I don't know. I just think holding on to shit like this is the reason why we're hoarders. But
okay, no.
This is the one item. You get like 5 items you get to keep.
No, get rid of it.
No, you get
rid of it.
You get 5 items you get to keep. That's one.
Get rid of it.
That's one. One item. So honestly, I just feel like there's too much in here, of course, but there's also stuff that I do use. It's just not an everyday item. So I don't think I want to get rid of it, but I'm also trying to figure out if this is just the hoarder in me trying to keep stuff. But like this knife, this is a really nice knife, but we never use it because we use our knife set. So I use this. I've had this for years and I've never used it, so time to part ways with it. Goodbye. Like these, you know, we might have summertime where we're grilling and I don't want to waste. So what's the point of getting rid of those? This is like a knife sharpener. These are extra blades for when I make sourdoughs. Like these little things, they're cute and all, but like, do I really need these? When do I ever use them? So this is what I ended up keeping. I ended up throwing away those bamboo sticks, and we're just gonna keep our metal ones because I didn't realize that we had these. I always like to have lighters on hand, and then this is pretty much all of my sourdough stuff, and then these cups are really good for storage. But I'm thinking about putting them in here, but I just feel like if I did put them in here, they would just disappear. So I kind of like having them in this drawer. Next up is this drawer. This drawer is just awful. You can't even find anything in it, so. I think one of the best things you can do when you're decluttering and organizing your house is to learn to clean along the way. So I went ahead and cleaned out every single drawer to make sure that it was spotless before I put any items back into it. It irritates me that I have this many chip clips. We don't even use these. Whenever we eat chips, we just roll them up and throw them in the pantry. So why do I have a huge bag of chip clips? They never get used. Are you not happy? Mom's gonna get this place cleaned up? Mm-hmm.
I have taken a break on decluttering for a few days just because I got so busy with other things, but I am jumping back into it today, and we're going to try and get the living room done once and for all because this box has been sitting here for a couple days and my husband is starting to get frustrated, so let's get this done. So this is my next section with the RV. It is what I like to call my office cabinet, but it's not organized, and eventually I just started throwing random crap in here. I have absolutely no idea half the stuff that's in here, and I don't even use it, so it's time to get rid of a lot of it.
After I remodeled the living room, I noticed I started to just shove things in cabinets because I was so sick of the remodel that I just didn't take the time to organize any cabinets after I had done it. So now they're packed full of crap that we just no longer need, and it's time to get rid of the majority of it. One of my favorite ways to declutter is to have everything separated into piles, one pile for donation, one pile for keeping, and then one pile for throwing out. I feel like if I would have just thrown everything in a pile and separated it from there, it would have taken me longer. And also, I don't have separate boxes that I put everything in just because we live in such a small space that putting everything into a box and having multiple boxes would just be really hard to carry around a 40-foot trailer.
So this is everything. All this, all this, all this. And I've just realized I don't even use any of this stuff. Like, something I was pointing out, these phones. I haven't used these phones in, I don't even know, 5, 10, this one was like 10 years. I don't even use half of the stuff, so I'm just gonna throw it all away. Are you enjoying the couch?
Before we had lived in our camper, we lived in a cabin in the mountains for about 2 years, and that's kind of where this really started. Is I started accumulating a lot of things just because we had gotten more space. More space usually means you collect more, but for some reason moving into the camper, I still have these bad habits and tendencies to buy things without getting rid of other things. Because of this, now I have this issue where we live in a smaller space, much smaller than the cabin, and for some reason I'm still collecting things just like I did before and not using them.
I haven't finished A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I haven't read this one. So what I'm going to do to make sure that I actually read these and get rid of them, I'm going to put a sticky note on them, and I am going to put them back in the cabinet. I'm going to test myself. If I don't read them by the date on that sticky note, they go bye-bye. So I'll put like 60 days. They can sit inside this cabinet for 60 days, but if they don't get read by then they're gone.
This is what it looks like now. It's much better, much cleaner. I'm going to see how much I use all this stuff, and if it doesn't get used,
once again, within 60 days, it's going. So this is something that I struggle with for some reason, are pens. I just hoard pens. Like, you're telling me that I use all these? No. They never get touched. It doesn't even have a cap on. Like, this one is shot. After I got done gathering all the pens that I wanted to keep, the ones that needed to be thrown out, and the ones that I'm going to give to my husband to take to his office at work because I don't need all these blue pens, I decided to start throwing everything inside the box that we're going to give away, and then I quickly went and started on our bedroom. On my sock drawer now. And I have all these socks, and I just keep thinking about, I don't even use half of them. Once again, why do I have so many? And then I go over here, and I can't even find matching. I think this one might be the matching for that one, actually. But all these socks have just been sitting in there without a pair for the longest time. And I already have so many to begin with. Like, why do I need 20 pairs? I could probably be good with 7 pairs of socks, and I'd be fine. I find myself getting more agitated every single day when I open up these drawers and I see all this crap sitting inside of them with nowhere to go and stuff that isn't being used. I remember watching a Netflix documentary, I think it was Marie Kondo, where she was talking about how every item in your home needs to have a place of its own. I noticed inside the drawer that there was a bunch of medicine in here from when I was sick, and that was a few weeks ago, and so it got me thinking, why is there still medicine inside this drawer? It should have been put back where it belonged, and it never did, which is part of the problem I'm having. This is pretty much everything we're getting rid of. I've got this entire bin full. Not this is my dog's toy. I have to go through and organize all of this and decide what can be donated, what can be thrown out, and like those phones I need to just completely erase somehow. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm definitely gonna have to do a probably part 2 for this, just because this is a lot of work. But I think one of the things I'm trying to focus on now is how can I prevent not getting myself into this position again? Because it seems like every 2 years I'm doing this massive clean out, this decluttering, this donation, and it's kind of getting old. I don't want to have to do this again every 2 years. So I'm going to try and come up with some ideas on how I can prevent myself from getting to this point again. If you guys have any recommendations on how to do that, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.